You can ask me anything. We're gonna have a good time today. Thanks, Stephen.
So you wanna be hardcore?
What's up, everybody? Sorry about the audio issue, but we good here now, right? Y'all can hear me? Let me know you can hear me now, right? You can hear me now, right? Let me see them comments come up. Let me know that the audio's working and everything else. Perfect. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes here to let me do this over here. Boom. Ask me anything. I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes here to ask me anything, and to just type your questions in the comments over here. And there we go. Perfect. Thanks, Gallant. Type your questions in the comments over there so I can see what your question is, and I'll address it here. Like nothing is off limits, like nothing. So I want to spend some time giving back to the community. You can ask me for sales advice, for business advice, for life advice, for whatever you want. I'm here to serve you guys and help y'all out. So what's up, everybody? Mike Lincoln in the house, Gallant Dill in the house, Alex Holland. Just turn it back off. Oh, sorry about that. My partner in crime, Brandy Whitmire, Stephen, the Tribe Life, Walushik, and many more. Looks like boxers or briefs. Man, I wear these like little, I guess they're briefs, but they're like long briefs. You know, weird. Got to have my underwear, man. Even when we were at the lake, I wear the shit under a bathing suit. I'm weird. I think it's something I picked up in prison. It is what it is. But I do think it's awfully odd that a dude was the one to ask me that. But I'm not briefs for the wins. There we go. That's what we say. Boxer briefs for the win. And so, no, Chuck, just no. How did we get, well, I said, ask me anything, and you guys just went there quick as a motherfucker, right? Like, do not pass go, do not stop at first base, just round all of them, right? So, here we go. Miguel Davis. What's up, Miguel? Miguel in the house? Miguel says, where do I see hardcore closer in 5 years? That's a good question. And so we do have a long vision for our company. And man, I'll probably about to say some stuff that's going to scare some of you. And I just want you to realize how deep I think about this community and stuff by what I'm about to say. So I believe in 5 years, the state of sales as we know it will be drastically changed. And they're creating automation systems, artificial intelligence, and robots. And I don't believe that all salespeople are going to be gone away in 5 years. But I believe we're going to see a mass exodus, just like in the beginning. There were factory workers. Henry Ford created the assembly line, and there were factory workers and men and women. They put the lug nuts on themselves. They turned the wrenches. They placed the parts together. They worked together in unison, and then they invented these damn machines, and all of a sudden about half of the people that worked in the auto industry were exiled. They had to go. Now, did they find other jobs in other areas? It took them a while, but they did. Ultimately, the economy came back, but I remember this as a kid. When the robots replaced the auto workers, it changed the fucking industry. You can even go to places like Dayton, Ohio now and see that it's like worn out because the way the auto industry just changed. And they automated it to, make themselves more profitable. The same thing is happening right now with cab drivers. They got exiled. People started driving Uber, and guess what's going to happen? These self-driving cars are going to exile everybody that's in the transportation business. It's bound to happen. And it's happening faster than anybody predicted at this point. And so I want you to think about this for a second. If it's happened to factory workers, if it's happened to people that operate heavy machinery and drive cars and serve the public, why would you think, even if you're not in sales, why would you not prepare yourself in the event that technology replaced you? And so in 5 years, I see myself as more, and I'm already making this transformation, but I see myself more as a world changer than just a sales trainer. See, we built the Hardcore Closer brand on sales training, obviously. That's where it started at, and we've evolved from just training loan officers, which is where the word closer came from because they close loans, from just loan officers into all sorts of business owners, salespeople, independent contractors. I mean, it's a lot bigger than what it started off as, and I see this continuing evolution. So I've got people that are now doing things under the Break Free Academy label that's helping out. I've got Kenneth Travis coaching our loan officers. I've got Ariel teaching people how to close via text. I've got Travis, who's being groomed to be able to lead the Break Free Academies. I've got Pat, who's already doing Break Free Academies and already doing live streams and trainings and things like that. So I'm training the next generation to where I can step back and become more of the person that's the the marionette, right? The person that's controlling the strings on the up and comers, because I don't want to be the guy that's been in the public spotlight for 30 years trying to hog your attention for 30 or 40 years. Like, I don't need to be that guy. I don't have the desire to be the front face of this. That's not why I created this. I created this to change lives. And I know that I'm not at the peak yet, but I'm close to the peak of the amount of lives that I can personally change. And so I've got to be able to continue the change that I'm bringing, but I've also got to bring up the next generation of leaders because they're different than me. They'll be able to reach a different type of personality. They'll be able to change even more people's lives. So, when it comes to Hardcore Closer, we don't say elevator to the top because we want to take all your money. We don't say we change your mind, you change your life because we just want to close you on some shit. We really do believe that when you change your mind, you change your life, and the right combination of words can unlock the door and the key and the lock inside of your mind that opens it up to a whole new realm of possibility. And in 5 years, that's what I want to do. I want to have unlocked as many minds as I can into this whole new realm of possibility. So good question, Miguel. Let's see, Alex Holland, I have no boundaries. I see that, my man. It's all good. Robert Nava, what's up, homie? Walmart is trying to kill the salesman. Then they selling cars and shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you say multimillionaire, are you talking about present holdings or that you have made multimillions? I'm talking about both, actually. I mean, shit. Any way you want to slice up multimillionaire, I fall into that category, bro. So don't think about it too hard. But anyway, you want to slice julienne fries, deep fries, baked potato, it's all the same, man. Whether you want to count assets, cash, the equity in companies I own, or like what, I got it across all platforms. Right? I wouldn't say it if I couldn't prove it. So there we go. So what's up, Rodolfo? Hey, man, I saw you post that picture on Instagram. That clothing company, they're located in Dallas, man. All their models and stuff like that are from Dallas. The dude that you had the picture of, he's like the owner of it. I hear he's cool people, man. But I see that picture a lot. It's good ass shit. Sometimes you just need a pair of balls, bro. So I've blown $1 million. That's why I'm sure that I'm 37 years old. I've been working since I was 13. So I'm sure somewhere along the way, I've blown a million as well, right? I probably, you figure I've made it over 100 grand for 10 years as a W-2 employee. So there's $1 million that I didn't have shit to show for once I got out of prison anyway. And, every time that now, and I'm really good about this now too, but every time I make money, I invest it. See, I used to, and maybe salespeople back here can really feel this. Give me an opportunity to change your life. So, when I first started I got out of prison. Let me just tell you the story. I got out of prison in 2008, and it was July of 2008. And if you'll recall, that was like one of the worst times in the mortgage industry ever. And I tried not to go back to the mortgage industry. I went and I interviewed with this job. And this job was cool. It was Credit Solutions was the name of the company. They had the best office I had ever seen, man. They had TVs in every cubicle and stocked with Red Bulls and Monsters. And I'm like, yes, dude, these are my people. And I passed the first, they did like the boiler room interview, right? So I passed the first interview. And this is like the first job interview I've ever gone on. If you recall, I worked for the car wash. The lady gave me a job, and then I was recruited away from that job after about 3 years into another. So I never went on an interview. I was always recruited. And so I went on this job interview, completely different, but I understood credit because I did mortgages for forever. And the second round, they didn't give me the job. And I thought to myself, I was like, man, fuck, man. This whole prison thing fucked me up. Maybe I'm just destined to be a loser. Maybe I see all my friends leaving the mortgage business. What chance do I have if they can't make it? I've been in prison all this time. Nobody's going to trust me. I have to lie to people. And so I really got down on myself, man, and I bounced through another couple opportunities in multi-level marketing and some shit like that, trying to get my life together. Finally, I decided, fuck it, and went back to the mortgage industry. And when I went back to the mortgage industry, I had a lot to prove. Like I had been in prison. My wife left me in prison. She took everything from me. She's banging the landscaper. They're married by the time I get out. And I'm below subterranean rock bottom. Thank God I didn't ever carry debt, just like I don't now. And so I didn't owe anybody any money, but it was a fuck time. And so I started making money after about 30 days in the business, started making 10 grand a month, then 20 grand a month, then 50 grand a month, so on and so forth. And, I started buying shit, flashy clothes and fucking, back then, don't laugh. Back then it was like the designer jeans, like they had 7 jeans. I know they all still exist, but they were like 7 and Rockin' Republic and all these like expensive jeans were like $200 a piece. And every time I got a check, I go blow like $1,000 on clothes and watches and shit like that, right? And that was how I got this fulfillment. right? Like literally when she left me and I lost all my money and I went through prison and stuff, I lost a lot of my confidence, right? Which is crucial to a man to have confidence. And I lost a lot of my confidence, and I relied on these material things to give me that confidence back. So I would make some money, and I would have these upper limits about holding on to money anyway, so I would go blow it on things so that I would get that fulfillment that somehow gave me this false confidence, right? It's like, oh, these are $200 jeans, make my dick look big and shit, right? And so like I got that false sense of confidence. But what happened is about 4 years ago, I made a mindset shift. You know, after that, I obviously in 2010, I lost my ability to earn income in the mortgage industry, which is what ultimately led me down this path here that you see in front of you today, to where I'm like this social media guy or whatever you want to call it. But during that time, you know, I'd gain it and lose it and gain it and lose it and gain it again. But about 4 years ago, before even I started making any kind of serious money, because I've only been in the money for about 2 years, I recently became a multimillionaire. Like, this is not something that I've been on. I've lost everything. You guys got to understand, 3 divorces, 2 prison stunts. I've lost everything that I've had 5 fucking times. You think I'm scared to lose it again? I'm scared of shit. That's why I do some of the bold moves that I do, because who gives a fuck? Well, I mean, I'm not going to go back to prison. I already know worst case scenarios, so fuck it. What do I got to lose, right? So anyway, 4 years ago, I changed this mindset. I still need that fulfillment. I still need to go buy something, but I don't like designer jeans. I wear t-shirts from Startup Drugs and a fucking Fitbit for a watch, right? And so my shoes, they're $40 shoes. People all the time are like, dude, those are some badass shoes. Where do you get those? I'm like, fucking Amazon, right? I'm like, I'm not trying to be a cheap bastard. It's just, I don't need those things to impress my confidence and to increase my confidence anymore. So what happened instead is I started buying things that paid for it, the rich dad style. Right? For those of you that read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I had a bunch of money, and then I went to prison, and then the wife took it, and I lost all that money, and I told myself maybe I don't deserve it. I hit an upper limit. And so when I would get it in the mortgage business, I would blow it. And then when I would get it, when I first started making internet marketing money, I would blow it. But 4 years ago, I started deciding to shift back to how I was before I went back to prison and become an investor. And so that's exactly what I did. I started investing in things. You know, we hit a big payday. We hit a big pay lick. I go buy a house, right? Like, and if I can't afford a whole house by myself, then I go in with somebody. I've got 2 partners right now in the real estate business that we've split deals on. If, you know, every single week, like this week is pay week, right? Every other week is pay week, but every single week, I spend $1,000 in buying stocks, and it's not a tremendous amount of money. And one day, hopefully, it'll be $10,000 a week. I'm not there yet, but I spend $1,000 every single week buying stocks. And when I buy a stock, my portfolio's up over 11% for the year, first of all. So I've got that basically cash sitting in an E-Trade account. But at any moment, all it's going to do is cost me at a total of everything. If I sold off everything I own, I'm going to lose $200. I'm going to spend $200 to make 11%, 12% at this point income from the money that was sitting there. And I've been doing that for 4 years. Consistency. Just like tithing, some of you tithe to your church or whatever. I've been consistently tithing to my E-Trade account, $1,000 a week. Got a lot of money in there. You know, got 6 figures sitting in my E-Trade account over the course of 4 years, right? And plus the growth. So I've invested a lot over the course of 4 years. I was actually looking at my statement yesterday and I was like, damn, you know what? It's not going to be long for the 7 figures in this bitch, right? And it comes a point to where it's not about the money. Money is simply a reflection of the contribution that you give to the marketplace, right? People say, hey, I appreciate what you've given me. Here's some money in exchange for the value you can add to my life. But what I've learned is I don't need that fulfillment of looking cool in front of people and impressing people and stuff like this. And I've always had richer friends than myself, right? I always say, you got a friend up. Yep, you got a friend up. Okay, you have a friend right here? Nope, you got a friend up. And so I've always friended up, had friends that were better than me at business and better personally developed than me and stuff like that. And I always see them, they don't wear Rolexes or anything like that. Like there's the exception, like Frank Kern and Marshall Silver, they're the exception to the rule. And they probably have more than anybody else that I know anyway. So they like the flashy stuff, but that's them, right? But everybody else, like the business people I know that aren't these like on stage or internet personalities, they don't wear flashy stuff. Their confidence comes from the fact that they know that their investments are earning them income. Some of the investments in my stock portfolio pay dividends. Plus, I got another 6 figures in a separately managed company with Northwestern Mutual, and that thing's paying dividends as well every month. It just goes right back into buying more. So these investments are paying for themselves, because I truly believe that if there is a mass exodus of the workforce out there, then what's logically going to happen is if there's less jobs, then you've got to be a person to be able to provide government housing so that you can catch the money from that. Matt Motil and I, who looks like he's on this thread, yeah, he says right there he's got lots of ink. Matt Motil and I have had this conversation tons of times, about, hey, what the future of this looks like. And if you have rental real estate where you're making money from it, then when they pass the living wage, you'll still have income. And you say, what's the living wage? Find out in Canada. They already fucking passed it there. And sure, they're not as diverse and fucking, sorry, Canadians, but y'all don't got it like Americans do. You're not as big and all that shit. But at the same time, they're close to us, and they're usually on the forefront of shit that's coming our way. I'm just saying. So it's something to think about. I'd rather you live like you were broke and save your money, and then when shit hit the fan, you'd be able to live like a king when everybody else was broke and their fan was broke as well, right? I'm arming you with the information. What you do with it from here is definitely up to you. So here we go. Alan Martinez, Ryan, definitely much respect to you over the last 5 years. You remember that time you drove me to the airport? It was all icy and shit. It was like 5 a.m. Then you came and picked me up and drove me to the airport, man, because I couldn't drive on that shit, man. But you helped me make my flight. You good people, Alan. But one time you took me to a club that was complete bullshit. It was like sausage night, and I was really out of place in that motherfucker. I'm just saying. I remember that. So you even, right? We even the score. So he says for 5 years he's watched me grow my brand and grow my own capacity to help those who hire me. You've evolved and you've evolved and are learning along the way what works and what doesn't. You aren't afraid to fail, which makes you a hard man to beat because you aren't scared. I thought you had a damn questions why I asked that, but I appreciate that, Alan. Brad Ghost, hey man, what's up, man? You crack me up. You're probably the funniest motherfucker I follow on Facebook. I'm serious. I'll read all your posts, man. You're fucking hilarious. You're probably mad at me because I said some shit about Canadians. Don't take it personal. I was just saying, like, we're a little bit bigger. Not that I didn't say y'all couldn't whoop our ass or whatever. We're not getting in a pissing match. I'm just saying. So, do I have to smoke weed to be successful? No, Brad, you do not have to smoke weed to be successful. But I believe deep down, you know you have to smoke weed to be hilarious. Stephen Woloshik, Maserati or Alfa Romeo, anyway, or something different. So, Stephen, I'm telling you, and I'm just going to give the secret to the group here because I know what you thought too. He said he doesn't do flashy shit, but doesn't he have a fucking brand new Maserati with the closer on the license plate? Yes. However, you only lease cars. That's the key. Unless you're a person that puts a fucking if you put over 15,000 miles a year on a car, you probably shouldn't lease. If you put less than 15,000 miles a year on a car, which I only put about 8. My Maserati is about a year and 3 months old. And it's got 9,000 miles on it, okay? I don't drive very far. I live conveniently close to everything. I've always done that. So if you lease cars, here's what I did with the Maserati. I put $2,000 down, and I paid like $800 a month for it. And it's like one of the baddest models that they make. Now, here's the thing about the Ghibli, okay? Because I don't drive the Quattroporte or the, the GT, right? Because those are like $150,000 to $180,000 cars. But they're too long. I like them. They're cool cars, but they're too fucking long. But the Ghibli is like short and compact and more sporty, right? It just looks cooler. Because I like the Aston Martins and the Maseratis and even the Ferrari California, but they're a little long, man. If they just shorten them up, I think they would look a little bit more bossier. And so that's what they did with the Ghibli. And so it's only about an $80,000 car. I know a lot of you are going, oh, man, I thought this motherfucker had a $200,000 Maserati. Like, it's only about an $80,000 car. I think mine was like 85. And so you lease that bad boy. They got great lease incentives because Maserati's trying to grow their brand right now. So I'm telling you, Steven, I told you this in Denver too. Now's the time to go take your shit, trade it in, and go get you, if you got an $800 to $1,100 a month lease payment on a badass Ghibli, first of all, every time you crank that motherfucker in your garage, you're going to go, oh, this is a great decision. Right? Second of all, we pull up to meetings, people are going to be like, this dude knows what he's doing. And number 3, it's going to force you to level up, bro. You're going to add $200 or $300 a month to your overhead. It's going to force you to level up. And you're going to feel like a bad motherfucker when you pull up to the office in a Maserati and you park in there and you know that you got that because you go and you change lives, brother. That's why I got this car. It reminds me every time I get into it, I'm the closer, man. I got this because I help people become rich and I help people change their lives. And this is just a direct reflection of the value that I've added to the market. It's not about ego. It's not about look at me. It's about, damn, this feels good to be able to reward myself as a man, because we know as men, we dream all of our lives to drive a Lamborghini, to drive a Ferrari, to drive a Maserati. And like, man, but I'm too damn, I looked at McLarens And I looked at Lamborghinis. I'm too damn fucking tight to lease a car for $2,500 a month. Just not fucking. I'm too damn tight to do that. Yeah, the Maserati made sense because it's less than $1,000. It's a badass exotic car, and I'm telling you, when you've heard mine, when you fire it up there is no better sounding exhaust except for on the Lamborghini Huracan and the Aston Martin. It's not the vintage. It's the their top of the line one. Those, because my neighbor had all those exotic cars in the penthouse. Those are the only two that sound better. The high end Aston Martin 2-door. I forget what the fuck it's called, man. But it's like something with a V. And maybe some of y'all know. And the Lamborghini Huracan are the ones that fucking sound the best. So, Jocko says right here. Well, Mike, I'm gonna give you one more chance real quick. It says made 50 a month doing mortgage lending. I made as much as 100 a month in mortgage lending, but it wasn't all directly from loans. I flipped houses too. And so I had like a nice little system with investors and shit like that. And that was also like the time that I made $50,000 in mortgages was in 2004, 5, and 6, which fucking everybody made, a lot of money in mortgages back then because it was subprime. And I only hit it one time in 2009 as well. So just to be clear, but yes, like there's no comparison. I'm not knocking the car business, guys, right? It's a great place to cut your teeth. It's a great place that you can go and make instant money and you get up sent to you. But man, the money, I've done all these jobs, right? I've sold cars and I've been, the top producer of the car dealership. I've sold mortgages, been the top producer of the mortgage dealership. I've sold sales training. I've done internet marketing. I've done social media management. I've done all these things and been at the top of the game, right? And I'm telling you, the car business has been the lowest paying job that I have ever had since the car wash. Okay. And again, I'm not knocking you guys because I know some of you make $200,000 a year, but there's ways to do that in the mortgage business working like 3 hours a day. There's ways to do that in real estate working like 1 day a week. Right. And so I'm just saying it is good and it can be good money, but you're going to have to work your dick off for it. But you can't, in the mortgage business, you can't just be an idiot, right? You got to understand finance. You got to go get a license. It's not just something that like fucking morons can go out there and do. It's very complicated, very government regulated business. You got to remember programs, guidelines, government assistance programs, VA, FHA, like down payment, USDA. There's a lot to fucking remember. As a person that did a shit ton of mortgages, over 1,000 mortgages, I don't believe that I could step back into that business today and learn it within 6 months because there's a fucking lot going on, right? There's just a lot of moving factors to financing something that's worth multiple $100,000. It would take me a few months to figure it back out. So you coming in brand new, I'm just saying there's a learning curve, but you might be broke for the first 3 or 4 months, but then you can make $500,000. My best year was 2005, I made $773,000, right? So the fucking money is there. Plus, if you're smart with your money, when people come in and they say, hey man, we got to sell our house or shit ain't going right for us, we're going to refinance. They can't refinance. Just buy the motherfucker, sell it back to them down the road. That's what I always did. So Jocko says, how do I become a stock trader? Step 1, open an E-Trade account. Step 2, put some money in it. Step 3, buy some stock. Step 4, sell it at a profit. You're welcome. Travis Clark, drop a few stacks of my Bitcoin, Ryan. Going to triple in value over the next few weeks. See, Travis, I get it, man, but I understand currencies like Seth Weinstein, man, cool ass dude. I met him last week. Really smart. You guys are out of my league, man. I have a hard enough time figuring out how fucking American money works, let alone computer money and all this other shit. I have no doubt that your shit's probably going to triple and stuff like that, but I miss the boat because I don't invest in things that I don't understand. My buddy hit me up this morning. He's like, I got a sure thing in the plastic business. You give us a couple $100,000, we'll recycle this plastic. It's a huge moneymaker, but I don't understand that business and I don't have time to learn it, so I don't fuck with it right this second. You see what I'm saying? Because it'll get me off track and I don't know enough to make sure that my investment's protected. Same with the Bitcoins and shit like that. So, Steven, I expect to see you in a Maserati really soon, like in the next week or two. Just saying. It's only going to be a matter of minutes for you driving whatever the fuck you want to, Ryan Nichols. Jocko, you got, again, $100. You start an E-Trade account with $100. I started my E-Trade account with $1,000, right? So I just opened it up, put $1,000 in. And what I did was I took $1,000 out of my savings account, which was earning me 0 interest, and I just deposited in E-Trade, and I bought one fucking share of Amazon. And it went up like $300 over the course of 2 or 3 months. So and as every week I kept investing $1,000 in there. Maybe you ain't got $52,000 to throw into an E-Trade account every year, but what's to keep you from putting $100 a week in there? There's penny stocks that you can buy. What's to keep you from putting $50 a week in there? You know what's to keep you from putting 50? I know what it is. I know. Just so we're on the same page here. Just so we all know what we're dealing with, and just get out there and start saving your money. I'm telling you, the feeling you get when you spend money, you're going to get that when you buy a stock, and then you're still going to have that money. That's awesome. If you go out and you buy a Rolex or pants or some shit like that, and you go to try to pawn it, the Pawn Star dude's going to fuck you out of your money. Stock's not going to happen. Even if the stock drops, I bought Snapchat on the IPO. It's down like $2 since I bought it, right? And I bought a good grip of it. But I didn't sell it, so I haven't lost any money. And you know what? At the end of the year, if I need to take a tax dip, then I could sell all my loser stocks and show that my portfolio didn't make as much money, and I can use that as a balance for the tax write-offs, right? So there's ways that you can leverage that. Now, first and foremost, I am not a financial advisor. The only license I have is a motherfucking driver's license, and it has a motorcycle attachment to it. But other than that, there is no accreditations or qualifications that even fucking allow. The only reason that I'm in front of you guys giving advice now is because the fucking camera works and nobody's reported me to Facebook and shut me down yet, right? So we're clear on that. But what I want you guys to understand is that is exactly what you do. Just put a little bit of money back every week, do your own research. I'm not telling you what stocks to buy. I told you Amazon. I think they'll be $1 trillion company. They've been good to me. Apple is a company that we're on Apple monitors. I got 2 Apple phones, 4 fucking iPads. I got Apple earpods, like safe bet that they're probably going to do okay. So I invested in them as well. So what's the first step of getting into real estate? For you, Ryan Nichols, it is talking to Matt Motil and probably partnering up with somebody in the tribe to buy something from him. Matt is going to be what you want to do if you're like, but for everybody else and for anybody who's hit Matt Motil up. But if you want to get into real estate and you want to learn it, right? If you want to learn the ins and outs of it, then you need a good mentor and coach. And Matt knows the shit. And so like when you get involved with Matt, he's going to teach you the ins and outs of real estate and help make sure that you're guided into getting the right property so that you can learn from his experience. Because listen, it's like anything else. If you don't have the right mentor, you're going to fuck up and not operate at your potential, and you're going to miss money and shit like that. They'd probably be disappointed. So what you want to do is you want to align with somebody that knows their shit so that they can guide you in the right direction, and somebody that's responsible, right? Somebody that says, hey, here's what it is. Here's what you get. Here's the example. Here's how we take care of it. And do that. Oh, it looks right there that Matt already hit you up on that anyway. So let's see. Ryan Chapman, with that mentality, I need a Ferrari. You should have a damn Ferrari. You know, my Maserati, the air conditioning shut off in it. The other day I made a post. The more expensive shit is, the more fucking shit happens to it, right? But my air conditioning shut off. It's not fucking cool in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. It's hot as shit here. So I had to go take it to the dealership. Well, the Maserati and the Ferrari dealership are like one and the same here. And so with them being one and the same, I got to check out I went through like the service areas. There's like tons of Ferraris in there, like old ones, new ones. They had like the throwback, like the Playboy Mansion type of Ferraris from like the 60s. And then they had the badass brand new, I think they're 459s they're called. I know they had a 458 because my old neighbor had one, but I think they're called 459. Dude, you talk about a sick looking thing. And even Amy's like, you're going to have to get one of those, aren't you? I'm like, fuck, man, they sure are nice, man. But again, I know that it's about $5,000 to $10,000 down and about $2,500 to $3,000 a month, depending on how bad of a motherfucker you want. And then that's only 5,000 miles a year. So that's a lot of dough that you'd be kicking, $25,000 to $30,000 per year to be able to drive that bitch just like one day a week, a few miles. You know what I'm saying? So just something to consider. But god damn, man, listen, I know this stat is true. 100% of all male-driven Ferraris have had a blowjob given in the front seat. You fucking check that fact on Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Baxter says, what did I talk to the UFC fighters about to pump them up? That's a good question. And it was cool meeting Dana White and hanging out with him. I didn't just like stop and take a picture with him. Like we hung out at his table and conversated with him. Like, you know, he's like, hey, I read some of your stuff. It's really cool. Congrats on your success. We talked like it was a thing. It wasn't like, you know, fuck, I just ran into Dana and snapped a picture and like try to be cool on Facebook. The big dude in the picture is Alan Belcher, and he works for the UFC. He had 2 fighters in the fight, and they both won the fight of the night. And what I talked to the fighters about, and I'm actually scheduling a call with them this week to reiterate this, but here's what I told them, and this is great advice for many of you too, because I know sales is a lot like fighting. You know, you make big chunks of money. Those guys got $125,000 each that night for winning those fights. So you make big chunks of money, and you do stupid shit with it. Let's just do some basic math here. They got capital gains that they're going to have to pay at about 30% because that's a 6-figure income. So let's just say that 35,000 of that 125 are gone. So now they're down to 95 G's. if they blew all 125, they would still owe the 35,000 in taxes. That's one of the big things that gets athletes and stuff in trouble. So what I spoke to them about was, listen, you're going to go out there and you're going to knock this fucking guy out, right? He doesn't stand a chance against you. You know that. I know that. You're going to fucking win the fight. But what you've got to do is when you return from that fight, you've got to manage your life. You've spent your whole entire life fighting to get out of the hood, fighting to make something of yourself, fighting to make a name for yourself, fighting for your family. And what you do, and what every other athlete seems to do, is as soon as they run into the money that they fought all their life for, they do dumb shit with it, and they end up fucking putting themselves right back in the middle of the fight. Don't be that person. Just like when you're on an airline, if an incident occurs, you got to put your own mask on first before you put the mask and help the person next to you. In this situation, you've got to put your own financial mask on first. Here's what you've got to do. You're going to get $125,000. First of it, $35,000 is gone. That leaves you with $95,000. You need to take $10,000, put it in your bank account to pay your bills, pay your car payments, take care of your family or whatever else. You need to take the other $85,000 and buy a house, not to live in, but to rent out. If you don't know somebody, it doesn't have to be in your backyard. I can connect you with people. I don't stand to make any money from it, but here's what I don't want. I don't want you to be full of concussions, fucked up, and 5 years from now, mangled and unable to fight, even if you've won a championship belt and you're having to coach inside the gym for the rest of your life. If you'll create a residual income by following my financial plan, then you'll be able to take care of yourself, and then you'll be able to ultimately put the mask on your family as well from the money that you have coming in. You've fought your entire life to get where you're at right now. Don't blow this, and don't blow your money once you get it. That's what I told him. How about that? All right, so I don't know. I keep cleaning up messes from the morons that have snuck into this biz. Yeah, well, you know, Quicken will hire them. Yeah, I said it. It is what it is. So, Miguel says that's what I do. Mortgage lending. I loved it being a finance manager at Dodge store. Never look back. Yeah, it's night and day. That's a good example. You should, Mike. You should ask Miguel. I think it was Mike. But exactly, you go from being a finance guy in cars, which is good money, mind you, but to a mortgage person, it's night and day. So right here, you want to buy some cheap stock, get in LQMT. Fuck your excuses. That's right, Ryan. Seth W. is brilliant. Yes, he is. Let's see. There's no 9-cylinder engine. I don't think I said it. Oh, is that what that is? 458, 459. Okay, cool. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a 9-cylinder engine, though. There's like a 5-cylinder. But anyway, I thought they changed it to 459. My bad. I didn't know that the last digit was on the Ferraris was the actual like cylinders in the engine. See, I told you, man. I don't fucking know. Don't laugh at me too damn hard, Dylan. If I drive the Maserati, I don't even know what fucking engine it has in it. I just know when you crank that bitch, it goes and people everywhere go, whoo, shit, that sounds good, and I drive it fast. That's all I know, man. I know it looks good, rides good, feels good, and but I don't drive it in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So I drove a 458 Italian. I had no idea the 8 was for cylinders. Yeah, so same thing. I'm not alone here. So Luke Fontaine, I appreciate that. Who else? Come hit me with some questions, man. We got about 20 minutes left on the hangout here. And what's the 4 and 5 for then? That's a good question, man. But maybe that's like 4.5 liter 8-cylinder. I bet that's what it is. I bet it's a 4.5 liter 8-cylinder engine, right? I bet that's the math. Who can tell me if that's right or wrong? I see your question there, Mike. I bet that's what it is. But it's a 4.5 liter 8-cylinder. So you got a 5.0, but 4. I don't know. Could be fucking wrong. I don't know. What is the biggest objection you get when selling your programs? That's a good question, man. The biggest objection we get, obviously, is the money objection. And it's weird. We used to really pressure people pretty hard into committing to us. It's like, hey, man, if you can't afford to, you got to, you know. But nowadays, it's a different mentality. We've already proved that what we do works. We've already proved that if you'll invest with us and do the work, that you'll get the results. And so when people tell us they're broke, oftentimes we just say, sorry for your luck, man. Right? Because, I mean, our rule number one is we don't sell to broke people. And so we turn down a lot of people, you know, and broke's a state of mind. A person could be making $40,000 a year and you know, not be broke. They can have money, especially for something like Entourage, $300 a month. Like, there's no excuse there, right? But like, broke is a state of mind, and I can fix that state of mind. But oftentimes the people that are in that state of mind, they don't want it fixed. They say they want it fixed, but they don't. So that's the biggest resistance. The second biggest resistance that we get, the one that really matters the most, Alan, is will I have enough time? Because we don't sell to broke people, we sell to successful people. Well, guess what? Successful people have shit to do, right? And when you have shit to do, when you add my stuff in as another element of shit to do, then it just starts to complicate things. And people, what they don't want to do is they don't want to pay $300 or $2,500 a month to have more shit to do that they can't get done because they can't even get the shit that they got to do in the first place done. So that's when we offer to help them with their scheduling. hey man, what you're doing, you can, like, if I can fit 6 companies and Ask Me Anythings and CrossFit and all this shit into my schedule, then a motherfucker can fit a training hour twice a month into their schedule, right? So it's just a matter of showing somebody the light and showing them the math. It's like, hey man, you invest 1 hour a week into this and then you implement it all week long. If you get one deal, it's XYZ dollars. How many deals can you pull out in a week by using the exercises that you're learning through here? So we change it from a time to where it's, oh shit, it's going to take up my time, to where, oh shit, it's going to make me money. You see the difference? And so that's really how we handle that objection, the resistance, right? Because people don't come to us and go, well, I don't know if your shit works or not. Like, people come to us, they're like, fuck, dude, I don't know if I can afford this, and I don't know if I have the time. And those are the 2 objections that we're looking for. And so what we do is we show you the math. If you can't afford it, and you still say you're broke, then fuck it, we don't fuck with you because we don't sell to broke people. But a lot of our objection is the time thing. And what we do is we just help people realize the value of their time to where they get more money, more bang for their buck. So, all right, who else we got here? How are you working with realtors in high-end markets? So last year, I ran the Facebook ads for a very well-to-do community outside of Austin. And it's $1 million, 800 to $1.5 million homes out there in Austin, kind of off the beaten path. So it's a lot of money. Beautiful neighborhood, awesome neighborhood. We did drone shots. We made funnels for them. And I believe they sold $8 million worth of properties last year in that development directly from our Facebook ads. And we spent probably $12,000 in Facebook ads. So if you do 8 million times 3%, because that's what the broker makes, right? So you got 8 million times 3%. That's 80,000, 160,000. That's $250,000 that they made for spending $12,000 in Facebook ads. That's the kind of shit that we help people do. And really at this point, we've proven our shit works for fucking butt plugs, dildos, fucking alarm systems, realtors, loan officers, car sales, insurance sales, small business owners. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what you do. If you'll follow into our shit and learn our leverage process, because that's what we're basically teaching people that join the entourage. Learn our leverage process. No matter what you say, you can make it happen. See, Mike Lincoln, I knew it was 4.5. I just had that feeling. Like, once he said 8, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So what do you think will be the next up-and-coming industry in 10 to 20 years? In the next 10 to 20 years, solar is going to be huge. I believe that they're just now tapping into it, but I believe that solar and home automation are huge. There's actually an article at hardcorecloser.com. Just type in their jobs in the search bar, and you'll see that I wrote an article about the top 5 jobs that are poised to bang. I'm already in the home automation business with ADT. My partner Chad Hensley and I and Patrick and a few other guys all work together selling in alarm equipment, home automation equipment. We give the alarms away for free, and then we sell the home automation equipment on the back end, cameras, automated doorbells, things of that nature. So, and that industry is picking up more and more and more. We're only a few years away from being able to operate every light in your home, every refrigerator at an affordable cost. I know all that automatically already exists, but you'll be able to do it at an affordable cost. So home automation is going to be huge. And there's a lot of homes, and as people are more into social media and Snapchat, and artificial intelligence and artificial reality, they're going to be leaving their homes less. So you want to automate their homes more. It's a huge industry to get in. The fact that cars are being charged by roofs is going to be huge. So you're going to see these battery business, which is Tesla, and the solar roof business, which is Tesla and Solar City and a few of these other places that are out there. You're going to see this be the grid that all plugs into one. And so you're going to be able to charge your car from your roof. You're going to be able to charge your house from the battery on the outside. That's a solar panel battery. So selling those batteries and those roofs. And right now, Tesla is the one that's got the corner on the market, but there will be others that come along. And so that's what's going to be another big one. And the other 3 you can look up on my website there, hardcorecloser.com. So let's see here. Funnels for insurance. First of all, Adam, funnels do work for insurance, but not the way that you think. Listen, nobody wants insurance, right? It's some shit that the fucking government makes us have. It's some shit that dumbasses that run into our cars and shit make us have to carry, and nobody wants it. But here's the thing. What people do want is cars. What people do want is houses. What people do want is jewelry. And those things have to be insured. You see what I'm saying? So sell what people want, brother. And so you make funnels for houses. You make funnels for cars. You make funnels for jewelry. And when people start opting into those things, you fucking sell them insurance. That's some slick ass shit right there. All right, solar for sure. They're putting solar panels on bodies of water now. Yeah, I mean, they fucking have solar farms, all sorts of crazy shit. So what do you think of Dale Vermillion's mortgage sales training? I do not know Dale Vermillion's, but I think anybody with the last name Millions anything, it's fucking got to be awesome. If that's his real name, that's got to be fucking awesome. You know, back in the day, they named you according to what you were, right? So like you were Jackson, so you were Mr. Jackson. You were Jack's son. Stewman, right? My family must have been fucking cooks, right? And understands I'm one of the thinner people in my family. Most of them are fat, so that would make sense, right? We just Stewman. If it was some of that beef and cornbread, right? So if it was Vermillion, it's like, he's a Vermillionaire. I would just assume, right? Somebody in his family was successful. All right, let's see here, but I really do not know who he is. Funnels for automotive internet sales training. Robert says you can help me. Yes, we sure can. We've got several people like Dwayne Stepp and RJ that are just like killing it, working funnels for automotive and internet sales training. But here's the thing, like sales managers and dealers are tough cookies to crumble. So you're going to not only be able to rely on the sales finesse of your funnel, you got to also rely on the sales finesse of being able to sell your product too. But we can definitely help you get in front of more of the people that are in the dealership that make the decision to buy your stuff. So how badass is BFA Live going to be in the new Hardcore Closer headquarters? It's going to be real fucking badass. Wait till you see this place, man. I don't know what it looks like yet neither because they're making it. I'll probably go by there and shoot a video on Friday and check it all out. Dude, it's exciting, man. It's going to be even cooler. What's going to be even cooler, man, is when we actually get the studio and the furniture, because I'm going to look at Furniture Friday. So we get the studio and the furniture, and then you guys can come in and fucking hang out with us and like come in and make videos and shit like that, because Matt obviously is in the tribe. Dude, this is going to be fucking awesome. So anybody got a light? I got a light. Hold on. Boom, light. There you go, Alex. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Some more questions. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's see. How are you working with realtors in high-end markets? Put that together quick. Best advice. Best advice for a newbie getting started in life insurance. There you go, Kenny Richmond. Sorry I missed that. Kenny, life insurance is similar to every other insurance. Nobody really wants it. But here's the mistake most people make. They try to sell life insurance to young broke people. I'm guessing, Kenny, I'm guessing that you're probably a pretty young fellow. Let me look at your page here. Yeah, you're probably mid-20s, mid-30s, late 20s, mid-30s probably, right? So here's what happens. You usually try to sell it to people that are your own age. Well, the problem is motherfuckers that are 20 and 30 years old are invincible as fuck. They ain't worried about dying. It's 50 years from now for them. And maybe 80, depending on how the lifespan lasts. And so what you've got to do is you got to take a different approach. If you want to get real money in life insurance, you have to sell to people who have a higher probability of dying. First of all, the premiums are probably going to be better for you. Second of all, you got to find people that have some, like if I die, like I need life insurance to take care of my family and to make sure that the employees and shit that I have don't get fucked over, right? Like I have $3 million in life insurance, $3.5 million in life insurance. If something happens to me, it covers my estate. And it takes care of my family, and that's enough for them to get by. And so I have insurance. But if you'd asked me for insurance 10 years ago when I was making $1 million in the mortgage business, I wouldn't have given a fuck. I didn't give a fuck, right? But what happens now is I got kids. So first rule is sell to people that have kids because you can use them as the fucking pawns. I know it sounds negative, but people need life insurance. You got to fucking do everything you can to get them life insurance. So the first thing you got to do is find people that have kids, right? Are your kids taken care of? Are you fucking sure, motherfucker? Right? That's important. Second thing is, so kids, marriages also happen to work well, right? If the wife doesn't work, if you find, a situation where the wife doesn't work, then obviously if the husband dies, how the fuck is she going to get money, right? She says, work, fuck, right? So those are good targets for you. Okay, so you want somebody older, someone that's a stay-at-home mom, someone that has kids, right? So older stay-at-home mom, someone that has kids. If you were running ads on Facebook for life insurance, you would target people that are 40 years of older and say, hey, are you sure if you had an accident today, are you sure your kids are taken care of? Right? You can run funnels like that on there. And you can target people that have higher net worths. What I would do if I were you, I'd go join Club Corp. It's $800 a year or $89 a month. You can go to Club Corp. They're country clubs, right? They're all over the fucking world. You go join Club Corp or your local country club, and you go hang out with the old motherfuckers that got money there, right? And you talk to them about how you can use your life insurance as a tax-efficient vehicle for them to fucking minimize their tax exposure and also take care and ensure that their family's going to be okay in the event of an accident. Stop chasing young people. Stop trying to convince motherfuckers that don't want or don't need life insurance that they do. What you've got to do is you've got to go after target qualified prospects. So what you and every other salesperson on the planet needs to do today, if you haven't done this before, is write down the exact description, like you're fucking writing down a crime scene, the person that fucking attacked you. Write them down and describe them to a T, who it is that you want to help. A rich old man with 3 kids and a stay-at-home mom for a wife that's been in business for 15 years, that doesn't smoke. Like, write all those things down, whatever it is that your perfect person is, so that you know what you're targeting. Then figure out where these fuckers hang out at. I know here they hang out at the golf course, right? They hanging out at the golf course, the country club, we're getting fucking drunk, because I'm one of them. I'm hanging out with them too. So that's where I would go to meet them, right? And you don't just like, hey, how's it going? Nice weather today. Do you guys want some life insurance? You become their fucking friend, get to know them, and say, you know, on the cool one night you're drinking, it's like, hey man, you know, I've been selling life insurance for a while and we never really talked about it, but do you think that you're covered, right? Do you like your guy? Start asking them questions, man. Get a couple drinks in them, start asking them questions, get them to sign. Next thing you know, you got yourself a goddamn deal, son. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Good question, though, man. Let's see. Scrolling up. Just graduated college, did real estate a while you were in college. That's cool. When is my birthday? Why, what you trying to send me, Brandy? You're so nice. My birthday is October 1st. So Dave, Super Dave, just started a landscaping company. I'm contemplating Facebook ads. Have you had success in this vertical? Man, yes, we've done moving ads. Obviously, we've done carpet cleaning ads. We have done landscaping ads. What you got to do is we covered this in the Entourage last night, Dave. You can get your ass back there in the Breakthrough Academy Entourage, but you could drop a pin on the neighborhood that you want to mow yards in, because in your business, it's best if you can get 20 yards in one neighborhood so you can knock them out in 2 days and not have to fucking spend time driving from here to there, right? The more efficient you can make your operations, the better. So like if I owned a landscape company and I was mowing in my yard, I would knock on every fucking door around here and I would get their phone numbers, look the people up on social media, and I'd make sure that I mowed everybody's yard so that when I came through here, I'm mowing 6 or 10 yards at once instead of just showing up to the neighborhood for 1 yard, packing it up, driving across town for another yard. Fuck that shit. I'm going to be efficient, money-making machine. So first of all, you need to do that. Second of all, so Facebook ads, you want to geo-target an area. So you want to drop a pin on the neighborhood. Say like you want to target Willow Bend. You drop a pin on Willow Bend. You say everybody within 5 miles of Willow Bend, and you run your ads to them. It's like, hey, free landscaping. You know, we'll mow your yard for free in Willow Bend. They call you up and like, yeah, come out, mow your yard. Go mow their yard for free. And then you tell them they need a bunch of weed killer, weed filler, fucking landscape and everything else. And you get the contract. You know what I'm saying? That's how you handle this shit. So use your methods. And here's John Petty says, use your methods in pre-owned car sales. Now I've made the jump to wholesale investment real estate. Do you work with many that do this? And do you have methods that help get to the top? Well, hell yeah. You should talk to my buddy, Matt Motil. He works with me in the tribe. And that's pretty much what he does, man. He's going to be your best bet for somebody to connect with. And if you like what he's doing, then obviously you can join up with us in the tribe, because it doesn't take but one deal a month to fucking quadruple and quintuple your fucking investment getting in the tribe when you're wholesaling real estate. So how's moving Facebook ads been successful for you? Well, you know, Dustin Black is a really good friend of mine, and like one of my closest friends, actually. And he owns Black Tie Moving. If you're in the DFW, Nashville, or LA area, then by all means, like, he's your fucking guy. Like, hit him up. Black Tie Moving, they're the best. They've moved me like 5 times, and I've paid, right? Like, Dustin's paid a couple times because I move a lot, but I paid. Like, I fucking love these guys. They're amazing. They all speak perfect English. They're all young men. They're all very fucking strong. They roll out a red carpet. They treat your house and your valuables like they're truly valuable. Like, I've moved a lot in my life, and Dustin's company is by far the best. So they run review ads and stuff like that. You can go to the Black Tie page and see the stuff that they're doing there. But Dustin's got one of the biggest moving companies on the planet, and he's done a lot of that through networking on Facebook and through Facebook ads. So that says a lot there. So Eugene, by the way. Let's see. We'll take one more question. What you got? Who you got? What you got? Who we got? Let's see here. From Australia, best tip to hire your first cold caller. Well, I hate cold calls, man. So my best tip would be like, don't hire that guy. Instead, hire somebody who can take inbound leads, and hire somebody who can pick up the phone when the phone rings and close them, and then you need to learn the art of lead gen. Now, I'm not from Australia. Maybe cold calling's a thing there. It's a thing here in America, but there's a lot more efficient ways to do things without annoying people. Because here's the problem, right, with cold calling. It's like, if I don't want something, and then you call me trying to sell me something that I wasn't in the market for anyway, and I tell you to fuck off, like, that takes a level of confidence away from you. Okay, and then the next time that happens and someone tells you no, fuck off, it takes another level of confidence away from you. And so you see these guys, that they're out of shape and they're fucking losing their hair and they're fucking stressed. They look 30 years older than they are, and they fucking getting told no by a bunch of people that don't qualify as prospects. It's fucking stressful, right? It's what makes sales stressful. But you think about this, it's 2017. It's the middle of 2017, mind you. We live in a time where database mining has been around since the 60s. You can do direct mail, you can do Facebook ads, YouTube ads, pay-per-click on Google. There's like a fucking plethora of shit that you can do. It doesn't make any sense to be going after and cold calling people who aren't looking for what it is that you sell. First of all, from a stress and time management standpoint, it's inefficient as fuck. And second of all, it doesn't make sense when you can drop, and we know there's 2 billion people on Facebook. We know there's fucking a gazillion people on Google. We know that if we have an outstanding offer and what it is that we sell is truly fucking cool, then we can put that offer in front of people that are in the market for it. And if we only talk to 2 of them a day and 1 of them buys, that's way better than making 200 cold calls for 1 person to buy, because you save the negated confidence and everything else. So I'm not a fan of cold calls, because I feel like, you know, if you're a badass at cold calling, that's cool. I'm not knocking it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just not for me. I like to do not necessarily the path of least resistance, but I like to do things correct and do things that's going to make, if there is a path of least resistance that's going to make me more money, that's the fuck I'm going to do, you know? So, well, I appreciate hanging out with all of you guys today. It looks like we had quite a few people on this, and if you will, we'll keep bumping it throughout the day and get it back up there and stuff like that. So great hanging out with y'all. And, if you need anything, hit me up in the DM. You can hit Travis or Roxanne or Josh up, or you can go to breakthroughacademy.com/entourage, and we can all get paid together. Later.